Welcome everybody to Dad's Gone Crypto. And here today we have another great episode on, getting involved into crypto. And, the question is, what should I buy? All right. So episode one, it was about securing your PC because you can't start crypto without securing your PC. If you're trading on your wallet, good luck for that. There's a lot of scams where they can actually steal your details. So unless you got some good security on your phones, try to stay away from obviously mobile use of big numbers. Try use an encrypted PC. And in episode one, we tell you how to. Social platforms, it can be a very lonely world out there in crypto because you can't just pick up the phone and phone someone. You can't just get involved like, hey, where's my crypto? Oh, I made a mistake. No one's going to answer. So social platforms provide an important role in communications, in joining communities, understanding where you are, especially getting involved in the project. You log on to their Telegram and you can engage with the right people, the moderators or other people which can help you out. So setting it up properly and not to get scammed is very important. And we've all paid our school fees, and I'll get onto school fees at a later stage. We just putting this series out to help you get advanced in that stage of not getting scammed as badly as most of us have. So we're actually paying those school fees forward to you guys to get a leg up. All right, so then we go setting up centralized exchanges. Basically a Coinbase or a Binance or a BitGet, how to set up those centralized, you know what that means, brick and mortar. If that company goes under, your crypto's gone. Then we've got decentralized exchanges. Obviously now there's no one that actually owns the exchange. It's decentralized. So it's not as easy for people to go into their brick and mortar and steal it, or for humans to actually mess it up. Then we move into hot and cold wallets, how to, protect your crypto, take it off, store it. If you got a Bitcoin, you can't just leave it on an exchange or just leave it in a wallet or leave it in a browser that's MetaMask. Too dangerous. All right, it will go walkies and you won't know how or when or whatever. There's some very sophisticated people out there and hackers. So you want to take it off and put it into a cold wallet and then store it in a safe and get some guard dogs around the house. Right. So once it's off the exchange, it's an extra layer of protection. All right. So it's important to now say, all right, we've done the basics. It's a bit painful, I won't lie, but where do I begin? All right, where do I start? Okay, great. I've put some dollars into my account. What do I do? Do I just go and buy the very first thing that I see? Well, let's start off with the king of the castle, Bitcoin. So if you just want to dabble in something quick, remember, whatever I'm saying is not financial advice. We just, giving our expertise in different fields, but by no means we're not financial advisors. So, Bitcoin is the king of the castle. And now that electronic traded funds, and it's now available, globally, well, most countries at least, it's safe to say that Bitcoin, right, the government knows about it. It's allowing you to trade on it. So it's got the regulation thumbs up. So if you want to dabble and you don't know what to do, stick to Bitcoin, right? So that's your king of your castle. Okay, so we're going to go through a couple of strategies on what to do now. All right, so I want to get more involved in crypto. There are so many different areas of crypto, right? There's just too much. There is too much. And it's important to remember it's good to understand everything. It's good to learn about everything as we are on this channel, and new things that are coming to fruition, and basically new technology. But you can't know it all, right? You cannot be an expert in AI and layer one and meme coins and all of it. All right. It's just, if you're like a super genius, there's just too much. There's too much to understand. Yes, you can understand how everything works, but at the end of the day, if I become a master of layer ones and I understand layer ones and I understand the technology and I understand their flaws, and when someone new comes in that's solving a problem, I can quickly identify that's actually the real problem with layer ones, and this is how they're solving it. If they get it right, they're going to bring a lot of people to that. So therefore, I'm speculating that if they get it right and I've seen the technology, and I'm rooting for these people, then you dabble in that before everybody jumps on the bandwagon. So that's understanding the big guys. So getting involved in crypto, right? First and foremost, look at the big boys, right? So I'm going to show you just something simple. Let's have a look here. I'm going to share my screens with you guys. So let me go here quickly. Give me 1 second. We've got CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. So understand this. This becomes your best friend. So if you're looking at CoinMarketCap, fear greed index, you can see there's a greed score, right? So the minute it starts going into orange and red, there's so much greed, there's so much FOMO, it's risky. That means it can reverse at any time. So right now the greed index is pretty good. 76. Retail hasn't really come into the market as of February 2024. Things are bubbling. Bitcoin's starting to hit new limits. We're in for the ride. The halving's coming up in April, so there's a lot of cool things happening in the next 6 to 12 months, which is going to be crazy. All right, so this you'll see over the next 6 months change dramatically. So let's have a look here. So you got your top coins. So let's go cryptocurrencies. Where are my big boys? All right, so the top 10. There we go. Those are the big boys. But it's not to say 11 to 20 on big boys either. All right. You want to take the top 30 maybe and just have a look at it. Okay. So if you're looking at price, that's obviously the price over there, the market cap. All right. That's how much investment has gone into this particular asset. All right. That's basically 1 trillion. Yeah, that's right. 53 billion, 333 billion, 1 trillion. Okay. I got surprised there. That's beautiful. All right. So we're hitting some great marks. That's because of the ETFs. It's now on an upward trend. That's cool. This is the daily volume. This is how much people are buying and selling on a daily volume basis. And then you got your Ethereum. So Bitcoin, see Bitcoin as your almost like digital gold. You see it as a store of value. Ethereum is considered your DeFi. Think about a farm. So Ethereum is the farm, and the farmer has created this ecosystem where new aged farmers can buy a piece of land, take their business on that land, bring their technologies, and all they need to do is obviously have Ethereum as their native token, and they're creating their own little world there. Whatever that world might be, the farmer has given them land to create their world, but they've got to trade within the farmer's coin, which is Ethereum. So now you have lots of farmers, each creating their own awesomeness. And then what happens is the land starts to get filled up. There starts to be more use cases for Ethereum. Ethereum goes up because they keep buying and selling and trading. All those little farms are buying and selling, trading, and they're going to need more Ethereum. So the demand for Ethereum goes up, therefore the need for it. So it's up to Ethereum, the owners of Ethereum. When I say owners, I mean metaphorically the farmers that are building that Ethereum, to make sure that you have good storage, speed of transactions, the trucks can get through, all metaphors, of course, that everything is just effortless. Now, what happens is when you have hundreds, if thousands of little farmers and they're all doing their own thing, causes a bottleneck. That bottleneck stops and kind of it doesn't allow that information to get through, and kind of causes a whole bunch of nonsense on the farm. It's up to the farmers to make sure they build smart, that as it scales, there's more lanes, there's more roads, there's more receivers, there's more distributors to allow the easier flow of goods. Okay. So simple analogy, but same thing. You've got too much chaos on the farm, and that's what's happening with Solana at the moment, is that it's very popular, and it's a speculative coin. They wanted to push to $500 to $1,000 by the peak of the bull market. That's the speculation amount. Do your own homework, of course, on that. So people are going to rush to this, and then when they start building on it, they might not have sorted out all their little bugs on their farm. So now there's bottlenecks. They went down not too long ago, I think 5 hours. There's a new updated software coming in there, upgraded version, should I say, coming in there, which should sort out the scalability issues. But when crypto comes and retail comes, it comes almost like someone smacking you across the face. It's just a massive amount of interest immediately. And these guys have to forecast and stress test what happens if this goes to 480 billion, all right, overnight. Can Solana survive? Can the transactions happen? Or will there be bottlenecks? Or will it freeze up? So there's a lot of things that these guys have to make sure that their farm is in order. But it's new technology, so they're growing, they're learning, they're fixing, and so forth. So coming back to my original thing, look at your big boys. There's a lot of people in there already. It's not to say that this might not go to zero. There's plenty of top big boys that have gone under in the past. This is crypto. So make sure Cardano, in the old school, they've been around for a while, building incredibly slow, but they believe their technology is superior than everybody else's. That just take forever to get anything done. So hopefully they'll start to speed up their systems there. Doge, you know the story behind Dogecoin, and Elon Musk punted it at one time. It's a meme coin, but they're speculating that it could turn into a transactional coin. If I'm not mistaken, you can buy certain SpaceX products or Boring Company with Dogecoin. So they're using that as well. So there might be some future plays with this particular coin. So that's why it's very speculative. That's why there's $12 billion in this meme coin. All right. So that's where meme coins go supernova. Chainlink, that's another big one. It's just going up and up and up and up over the last month. From January to February, went from I think 13 up to 19 now. There's some big news coming off the backbone of their big event that happened that says that banks might be adopting this left, right, and center. And if that's the case, this is going to go up. Yeah, it's going to go rocket up. So look into Chainlink, look into that Polkadot. You've got Polygon, Matic, Toncoin, Bitcoin Cash, old school. So yeah, so look, to make it easy, this is of course mutable. That's another very good one. Uniswap, Cosmos. All right, so look at the big boys. Do your homework on the big boys first. Understand why they're in the top 10. Understand what need they are trying to provide, or what problem are they trying to solve. Are they solving it? Are they scalable? And that, do they have legs? Does Bitcoin have legs? Of course. Now that the ETFs and everybody has access to it in your country, you're going to phone up your broker and say, Johnny, buy me some Bitcoin. He says, okay, how much you want? Okay, cool, done. That's it. No private keys, no security, no setting up your PCs, no nothing. It's regulated, it's protected. If that company goes under, insurance covers it. If you own your Bitcoin and it gets stolen, it's not protected. So it's now available. So should this go up? It should go up because the demand is high. And right now, the reason why there's an explosion up, because the demand versus the supply of the Bitcoin miners is far greater, and now we're pushing up higher, which is great in time for that Bitcoin halving, because then the algorithm makes the coding even harder, and then we have a supply shortage. Then everybody wants, but they can't get. So what does that do? Pushes the price high. So now when you start to understand ETFs, understand Bitcoin, understand your miners, all right, what's happening with miners, how is Bitcoin made, all right, and how is Bitcoin put onto the markets, and the supply shortage. And then, of course, this greed index. If you start to take those narratives and those understandings and put them together, you can start to formulate a picture for yourself. Is Bitcoin going to go up? Then you take high-level people that are like macroeconomists like Ralph Powell, those guys that are just really, really ahead of their game. They've got tried and tested, success in the markets. Then you go and study what they say and you get a better understanding. And you're like, wait a minute. Even Michael Saylor, a strategist, his company is one of the most successful companies on the stock market. There's a reason for that. And there's a reason why he's pivoted his company to Bitcoin as well. So I would look into that as well. So now you start to see that's just one coin, and look at how deep we can go into it. Now you can do the same for Ethereum, right? If you also know Ethereum, it gets very expensive with gas fees. Every time you want to make transaction on the farm, the farmer charges you a gas fee. And if there's a lot of supply, a lot of demand, and there's a lot of bottlenecks, what does the farmer do? They push up the gas price, right? So, and then it costs you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, even it's up to $100 a transaction. So you're just trying to get your $30 out, and it's going to cost you $100. So hopefully they fix that problem, but we'll only know in the next couple of months. So if that happens again, all right, people are going to say, well, this is just silly. I'm wasting money. Yeah. Why should I pay the farmer these stupid amounts of money? So then they're going to go to something that's a little more affordable. Solana, okay, so it goes down every now and again. That's fine. But do I want to give half my wealth to Ethereum? No. All right. It's very, very cheap to operate on Solana. So this might be, they're calling it the Ethereum killer. Everything's an Ethereum killer. But that just means, does the Solana farm have the capacity to grow their network and farmers on their farm to outpace the volume of Ethereum? Not too long ago, the volume on the NFT space, Solana flipped Bitcoin and it flipped Ethereum on volume. So now they're starting to tell you a story about this coin. So now you start to see the correlation between these. And this is just obviously going into a little bit more deep diving. So step one, choose your big boys, right? Start to understand what this is, because it'll never go away. All right, understand your big boys, and why do you believe that you should invest in those areas? Okay, so we're talking about big boys. The second most important thing, do I wake up on a Tuesday or a Friday or a Saturday and I say, all right, I've got $1,000. Let me just throw it into Bitcoin. So what happens if I don't have $1,000 next month? Or let's say I have $500. What if I don't have $500? So the idea is that I don't know if this is going to drop down to 45 or even 38. I don't know. And I'm not a trader in the sense of, an analyst that can speculate ups or downs and stuff like that. There's very few people that get it right. So I dollar cost average in. So I take my $1,000 and I take $250 and I buy a little bit, right? Every week or every second week or every month. And I buy a little bit. So I'm happy to buy 500. I don't know if this is going up or down. So it goes up. I bought 500. Cool. It's gone up. I got it more expensive now. It doesn't matter. I buy 500 and I buy 500. Then it goes all the way down and it's crashed and it's down by 40%. You're like, oh my goodness, Bitcoin's going to the dogs. Like, no, it's just had a correction. It's fine. All right. But now what am I doing? I'm buying Bitcoin at a cheaper price. So if you take the sums of all you bought and all you of the highs and the lows, and you take the average, you have an average amount. So even though this might be $58,000, you might have an average of $54,000 because of the highs and the lows. That's the smart way to do it, right? As opposed to just throwing it in. Unless you've got some big capital and you just want to get in now because this is going to go to $1 million one day. You want to get in early. Just put it in, forget about it, put it in the safe and gone. That's another story. But if you're an active investment, you got unit trusts that go off every month, your normal unit trusts or your endowment policies, whatever like that. All you want to do is now just diversify a small portion of your portfolio and put a little bit into Bitcoin. Okay. So get your, crypto.com and hook up your credit card and basically just let them take a certain amount of money off every month. Remember not to leave it on the exchange. Take it off and put it into your cold wallet. And that way, dollar cost average. Yes, I'm keeping Bitcoin for the next 10 years because by 2030, we should have some serious numbers. But for now, I want to make sure that I get some consistently as opposed to timing it. Oh, should I get in now? Should I not get in now? Oh, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Oh, I promise you'll have anxiety like it's no one's business, especially when it starts to get into a peak bull market. You don't want that. The anxiety levels are crazy, right? If you've been through a couple of these high cycles, you don't want that. You just want to just say, okay, a little bit, yeah. So this is the big boys. So make sure that you have a strategy of dollar cost averaging in. Another strategy is playing the 3 to 5% splits. Now, I do say that this is just a fictitious number, right? But we can say, let's not be greedy. Let's say 5%. So when we look at the charts and we say, all right, 51779 30, right? So over here, it's gone up 9%. Okay. So now I could get in now, but it might come down. So I don't know, right? So if it's generally high by 10% in the day, unless something's really good is going to happen, there might be a little bit of correction. So I'll wait for this to come down 4 or 5% and I'll buy. Okay, so when that 9%, 9.85 goes to 4.8%, then I buy in. right? If it goes down, it doesn't matter. I have to hold. So now I'm down 10%. I got to hold. Then basically what I need to do is wait for it to go up 5%. Once I hit 5%, even if it's gone back up 9%, I sell 5%, right? Now I'm out. Now wait for the correction, wait for a correction. So it might go to 55 and you missed that 20% gain. You're like, oh my goodness, I just missed 20%. No, remember, you're playing the 3 to 5% gains. So let it reach its new target. Then what's it going to do when it reaches a new high value? It's going to correct. So let it correct and you buy. And then hopefully it's going up. So how can you do this? Well, you've got to be careful because you have to understand where is the market going. So in the start of a bull market, the theory is it's going up. A bull market, more bullish. So we think the trend line over time is going up, and as of now it is. So we're speculating that it's going to go up and down erratically, but overall it's going up. In a bear market, it's going down. So more than likely, if you hit an all-time peak in a bear market, it's not going to stay there, right? Unless some magical news has come out that it's going to revolutionize the world, it'll get to a point, but it'll eventually come back down because people want to take their money because they're in a recession or in a bear market. Not so much recession, but we are technically in the world recession. But from a crypto point of view, a bear trend, it's coming down. So the market wants to pull it down all the time. Even though it tries to push up, it kind of pulls it back down, right? So everything is kind of gets depressed in that regard. So you want to play the 5%ers on a bull market because over time it's going to go up. So if you take all those 3 to 5% buys, let it dip, wait, buy, let it dip, buy, let it dip, and you're only playing the 5%ers, eventually, all right, you're going to double up your money. So that's the 3 to 5%. So look into that. I'm just giving you a high level of it. There's a lot of people that only play Bitcoin. I know my mate's anesthetist, that's all he did. He took his Bitcoin, he waited for a dip, like, oh my goodness, Bitcoin's down 30%. It has that big correction. They're like, yes, let me buy. So he bought only when there was big dips, right? 10, 20, 30%. And then he bought in and he waited and he waited. It doesn't matter what happened. It went further down. He waited to go back up. Then he sold, and then it came back down, another correction. So he might be playing the 2-month, 3-month cycle of highs and lows. But ultimately, he made some serious money just playing that game. It's a very patient game, right? Because crypto is like, can I make quick money now? But he's got his day job, and that's all he did. He just looked at the market, cool, it's down, everyone's fighting it, great, that's the time to buy. And he waits for it to go up, sells on the high, and he buys on the low. So that's a nice strategy there. All right. Strategy 4. All right. Look at what the narratives are. So now you're on YouTube and you're like, what's the next hottest thing? When's the next 100x? When am I going to get rich? All right. Now be careful with influencers. They're going to be shilling because there's a lot of deals on the back end that allow them to shill. You want an influencer to share knowledge on a project. You want them to interview their directors and their CEOs and their builders, and you want to make an informed decision based on what you hear from them. If it sounds very scammy, well, you made an informed decision that this is not for me. If they sound out of this world, and then you have to ask the question, wow, what do they know that I don't know? We're going with the narratives, right? So you'll start to hear people say, oh, AI intelligence, artificial intelligence. Whoo, it's a hot narrative. Go ask your mom, like, ooh, I'm so worried about the world coming to an end because of AI. Like, ooh, this is dangerous. So then you start to get to learn about more informed people, how AI is changing the world as we know it. ChatGPT, automating problems, problem solving, fixing grammar, writing emails in world standards, understanding literature research papers. All right. So there's so much value that AI can bring to this world. Yes, there is the crazy dark side of AI. I understand that, right? Like anything, there's the dark side to pharmaceuticals. There's the dark side to your work's espionage and trading secrets with different countries. Every industry has its dark secrets, right? And AI is no different. It's just more scary because they put metal to it and say they're going to attack everybody. It's going to take over the world. Right. Well, didn't pharmaceuticals take over the world? Anyway, by and large. So What I'm saying is, what is the narrative in crypto? Because if the narrative is everywhere you hear, the narrative is AI, what's happening? All right. So that's where people say, all right, what's the next narrative in AI that's going to be a game changer? Because that's where the money flows. Gaming's the next big one. Gaming is set for this next 12, 15 months to really push because some AAA games are coming out. And finally, the block game Tetris type styles, which are useless, right? Not to say Tetris is useless, but it's not a it's not a modernized AAA game that you can get. It's not a Fortnite, let's be honest, right? But they've started to create games like that, if not better. So now there's clever ways to onboard people. So you give them the game for free, you let them play, you get them going. I'll give you an example. Heroes of Mavia. They've downloaded, so users downloaded 1 million people downloaded the game in 4 hours. Okay. I think it's up to 2 million now, maybe more. It's not, they don't know it's a crypto game. These are just normal Joes with the cell phone downloading a game that things and they're building and they're conquering. They don't know that they get an Ethereum wallet. So they don't know that crypto is going to, be an option for them. So they're creating and building all these things and they're collecting assets. They don't know that what's going to happen is they're going to be able to trade that or to level up or to sell it. They don't know, right? So the beauty is they've onboarded so many of these people, and the minute they say, "Oh, by the way, I've got a rare gem crystal that I found, and it's worth $1,000," are you telling me that person is not going to sell it? Come on, come on, come on! Welcome to crypto, noobs. So that's how they onboard it. Now that's one game. Now you take 5 or 6 of these games, you can onboard literally millions of users into crypto without them even knowing it, and teach them the way of how crypto is basically, how it plays and how it plays out. So that's why there's such a narrative for gaming, because it's a way of bringing people in. The more people into crypto, the more volume, the more speculative prices go up. It's just good for everything, right? But they have not yet created the quality needed that people can say, wow, this is awesome. Or have they? Check out Heroes of Mavia. Okay, so gaming and AI are two big narratives, but I can tell you now, personally, I know a little bit about the AI, I know quite a bit about the gaming side, but by no means am I an expert in those two fields. You will get guys in the space that basically are the gaming experts, right? They build in the space, they know the space, they've been in it for a while. These are the guys that you need to follow, right? So generalists, they don't know too much about the gaming side of things. So go online and find those people that are heavily into the gaming space, because they'll have knowledge, they'll understand the back end, they'll understand the technology, they'll understand the problems, they'll understand things that need to be solved. They might be solving some of them, and they might give you insights of what's the next potential company that's coming about that might change or solve a problem that's needed for the industry. And Super is one of those. Yeah. Anyways, it's important to understand, exactly what's happening. I see my screen was not shared there. Apologies for that. Okay, guys, last but not least, also start looking at possibly getting into private groups. So private groups, what private groups allow you to do, so it's normally behind a paid gate wall or a gated wall. So it's a closed-knit community of people. So you either buy an NFT to get into this, or you pay a certain amount to get into this, and then you get opportunities. I can't exactly tell you what opportunities happen behind a private wall, but it can be anything from deal flow, from NFTs, from alpha, from there's so much. There's so much. Every private group is different. So that's why I say start asking questions of which are the good private groups. How do I get involved? Why are private groups important? I belong to one. In fact, I belong to a few. Well, the quality of people in there, right? A good quality group has quality people. And those quality people are sometimes experts in certain areas. And when we ask a question or a topic gets thrown around, you are getting expert advice. We might even have CEOs in the group. We might even have captains of industries in that group. So they know things faster than anybody else. If there's FUD in the market, we get to know about it first, right? Because you got this almost this tribe of people that have your back because you build this close knit community, and you start to share trades, you start to share tips, you start to share alpha. You lean on someone. Hey, listen, man, sheesh, I don't have my wallet set up. I need $1 just to activate this account. Who can just send me $1? It's weird, but it happens, right? Because there's that trust that forms, almost like a brotherhood type thing. I'm not saying that is a channel, but it's important to understand that you get trusted information in there. Not all information is accurate. We're humans, yeah, but I find comfort in that whenever I need to know what's happening in the market, what's happening, and there's FUD or there's the new opportunities, I go to my group first. I listen to what's happening there. Then I go outside, I do my research, then I do correlations. So it just gives me that extra bit of comfort. And it's always nice to know that your group wants everybody to succeed. Yes, everybody's intrinsically selfish and wants to make their own money. But, if I'm in a group and I've got some information, I don't mind sharing it. I give it to the community because, if it can help someone else, why not? A noob coming in, you want to make him feel comfortable, right? And that's why we started this channel as well, because as news come in, they're like, what do I do? Well, this is one part of the series that's going to help you get a better gain. So before you get to that private group, because it can be quite costly for initially to get in, but first just start the process, understand things more, do some homework on what are the better groups, reach out into Dad's Gone Crypto Telegram group and ask us, hey, what private groups do we belong to? What do you recommend? Which guys are cool? Which guys are not? There's a few, right? So yeah, it just have a look at them. There's the Notified group, there's the Brotherhood, there's Cryptopia, there's Coach K Club. There's a whole bunch of other ones. Those guys are pretty jacked and been in the industry for some time. And yeah, it's always nice to go to a safe haven and get some alpha in those groups. All right, guys. Last but not least is launch pads. So what are launch pads? So sometimes you're able to get into private sales. So as a company is launching on the market into crypto, they got founders, which they issue a certain amount of tokens. Then there's private sale 1, private sale 2, and there's a different price attached to it. And there's a certain round in which they raise funds, to pay for the project, to get funding, to marketing, all of that. But you get it at a certain rate. But generally is a lockup period of 6 to 12 months, up to 24 months, if not even more. So over the years, like some of the projects I'm in, I've been locked up for like 4 years already. Yeah, I'm old, still waiting. So some of them take longer, all right, because they're still in that development mode. If you're building a AAA game, you can be waiting 5 years because it takes that long to build a quality game. So it's understandable. But if you get in early, right, and 5 years pass, and then they're ready on a private sale, maybe 3 or 4, then they go to public sale. They might do a closed public sale or a TGE, with token generation launch, right, or event. So then the market goes in and like, oh, I love this game, Gunzilla, let me buy, and it pushes up the price. Well, we are part of the founding or the private round investors, but we can't access our tokens. Only after a certain period of time, they release. So the public guys push the price nice and high. If the project is hot and you're in a bull market, when the private sale tokens unlock, then it's happy days. So that's obviously on the private side of things. Launch pads, now what they do is they partner with certain companies and they say, all right, we're going to take a certain private round and allow people to get into those private rounds via owning the project. So let's take Paid or Seedify. Those are two very good ones. So Paid, you need X amount of tokens of the Paid token, which is their native token. And then it allows you to buy a certain amount of tokens in private sale. So if let's just do a 1-to-1. Let's just say it costs $1,000 of 1,000 paid tokens to be able to have $1,000 worth of private sale. It's great. You need one private sale to go through the roof, pays for all of that. Now, I know Paid, I think it's close to about $17,000 to get into private sale, but they are one of the captains of the industry when it comes to quality projects launching. So is it worthwhile? If you've got the capital, possibly possibly is, because as the bull market hits, lots of people push into the paid token, pushing the paid token high as well. But you also get into those private rounds, which other people don't get. And there might be favorable terms. There might be a small percentage on launch. So on TGE, you might get 5% or 10%, and all of a sudden that 10% might pay for your entire investment. So private sell investments through these pads, these launch pads, are incredibly popular in a bull market, incredibly popular. And Seedifies is the narrative of gaming. So there's a lot of gaming guys that are going to use their platform to launch their product, because also the funds that go into it also allow the project to generate some funds for their project, which they can push into more marketing, they can push into more development, push into more things. So it also allows the project to gain more liquidity to allow better and bigger things. And you want that. You want them to have a good amount of cash, because if they're marketing the hell out of it and they're going through, it means only good things for your price, right? Where you can get in and basically go out at different stages. So launch pads are very hot. Just be careful with launch pads. There's a lot of them out there, and not all of them are good. Once again, ask around, come to our channel, and we can guide you to saying which ones are the better ones. But that's definitely going to be a hot one in this market. So guys, the question was, where do I start? Okay, start with just Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but that's where everyone's going to start. All right, moms and pops around the world are going to start with Bitcoin. Start there, dabble, right? Then you're going to ask the question, well, let me set up my unit trusts. Unit trust, I don't think has made anybody any money ever. Not financial advice, and this is just my biased view because I hate them, right? Because everybody that I know of that's ever had a unit trust in South Africa, right, have never been able to retire or never had any financial freedom off it. And all their brokers have made tons of money off it. I'm ranting and raving here. Anyways, so maybe time to diversify, put a little bit of dollar cost averaging in there, and then start looking at the other areas as well. So guys, this is just a additional understanding of, what do I do now, right? And what steps can I take? I will reiterate it one more time. Everything we say on the Dad's Gone Crypto channel is just our ideas. It's not financial advice. And it's just, don't take everything as gospel. Question everything. Some of the stuff we might get wrong, right? We're also human. That's why we're giving you that foundational phase. Learn some more, all right? And perhaps come share some knowledge with us to update our knowledge and our feeds. So that's where the collaborative environment. Come join the Telegram group, build a community, and let's grow together. Why not? All right, let's make money together. Why not? That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Crypto is absolutely electrifying. And yes, it seems a bit scary to get involved in this. I'm learning every day. And Ryan, don't tell him, is definitely smarter than I am in this space. But we all have a place in this space, and we all have an opportunity to learn and grow. And, as long as you have that open heart, and even at my age, 42, turning 43 soon, I think, I can't even remember, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to grow, and I'm willing to improve myself. And so should you. As a dad, I'm pushing for financial freedom for my family, all right? And this free series for you guys with myself and Ryan is just a small gesture to say, hey, come join us on this ride for financial freedom. And let's take our families to that next level and the next holidays on Beach Island. All right, guys, don't forget to join our Telegram channel at Dad's Gone Crypto, our Twitter. Come say how's it there as well. And we'll chat to you guys soon. Keep real. Ciao. Bye.